Fellow travelers of Tavat, welcome back to another Genshin Impact tier list. This time, the Genshin characters are running on 2 hours of sleep. They did not get any sleep last night, and how is that going to affect them? I have 8 different categories here I came up with on what their mood will be like running on 2 hours of sleep. I mean, not everybody can function normally on 2 hours of sleep. And a lot of these different characters have many different personalities and traits that will just make them very chaotic. So let's see what I think they'd be like on 2 hours of sleep. We start off with Jean. Jean, her anxiety and stress over work would absolutely skyrocket on 2 hours of sleep. So I think with no sleep, she's going to be highly stressed. Her anxiety is going to be peak. I mean, it's going to be a rough day for her. She's just going to want to get home and sleep for 12 hours after this day. She's not going to be in a good mood. Lisa, on the other hand, I see her as just being tired and fatigued. She might want to fall asleep while reading a book in the library. She's going to be very tired, barely keep her eyes open. Now, Amber is going to be, I don't know, a little different maybe, because she's usually very happy and doesn't get angry. But on 2 hours of sleep, she's the outrider. I could see her actually becoming stressed and getting anxiety and becoming anxious over, small little things when she gets no sleep. Her brain becomes, completely weird, and she just gets very flustered and has a lot of nerves about different things. So that's what I tend to see. She's just not herself when she's on no sleep. Noelle is a maid. I think she can do pretty well running on no sleep. So I actually think she'd be more focused on her job. She's going to be in that very focused, determined mode where she just focuses on her job and makes sure she does her job completely 100% right. And yeah, that's what I see her with no sleep. She's an odd one. Barbara, yeah, tired and fatigued. She's an idol. She works at the church. Without sleep, she's going to be dead tired, barely keep her eyes open. It's going to be a very rough day for her. She's going to get tired very quickly no matter what she does. Sucrose, on the other hand, Sucrose, she is always anxious and stressed, and running on no sleep will just double that because she's an alchemist. What if she makes a mistake? She's going to be very cautious. She's going to be shaking because of the nerves. Yeah, with no sleep, she's going to be an absolute wreck. Fischl. Oh, God, Fischl. What would she be like with no sleep? Let's see. Honestly, it'd be hilarious. I think she'd be confused and loopy. Running on 2 hours of sleep, she's already crazy as it is. I can just see her high, loopy, kind of confused at what's going on, not really paying attention. Yeah, that makes sense. Mona Magistus? Oh, I could see her being a lot of different emotions while she's on no sleep. So I'm going to put her in here, mood swings throughout the day. I could see her being easily annoyed at things, getting angry. I can see her being tired and fatigued. I can see her maybe being loopy and confused on stuff. I can see her being in these categories, a lot of different categories here. So she's going in all emotions. Kaya doesn't need sleep. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of sleep to begin with. He's drunk a lot. So I think there's something going on with him that we don't know yet. So I'm going to put him here. No change. His normal self. He knows how to mask his identity. He can put on a different face, and really just become two-sided, So I don't think we'll see a change with him. On the complete opposite, Diluc, he would be easily annoyed and get angry without his sleep. Running on 2 hours of sleep, Diluc would not be someone you would want to be around. No. I would see him being very angry. Razor. Oh, God. Razor with no sleep. This is a good one. I kind of want to put him here, but I feel like he needs sleep. He's still a human, and even if he is like a wolf, they need sleep. So I'm going to put him here, sad and depressed. People without sleep, they could sometimes get very sad and start thinking about past events or things that make them depressed. That could be him thinking about his past self, his family. I don't know. That's what I kind of see with Razor. Bennett. Oh God, unlucky Bennett. I'm gonna go with. This is tough. Okay, hear me out. Bennett likes to be very focused on completing a task and doing it right. So I think even on less sleep, he's going to be very focused. He's going to be wanting to make sure everything is perfect. He can be energetic too. We've seen him be very energetic before. He gets very excited over different things. And I think with no sleep, that won't change. So I think this is a good category to put him in. Even with no sleep, like sure, he'll be tired, but knowing his personality, he's just going to be energetic and very focused on the tasks he does during the day. All right, Ningguang. Oh yeah, she can be a pest in normal day. If she doesn't get sleep, yeah, she's going to be very annoyed. She's not going to be happy. She's not going to want anyone to talk to her. Just leave her alone. Yeah, she'll get mad at, all the small things that happen. So, poor Ningguang. She needs her sleep. Beto? Oh, God. Beto is probably going to be drunk a lot. So yeah, I mean, I don't see Beto getting a lot of sleep to begin with. I don't think anything's going to change with her. She's drunk. She stays up all night. She's on the pirate ship. Her running on 2 hours of sleep, that's normal for her. I don't think anything's going to change. Now, Kaching, I will say high anxiety and stressed. She works a ton. She is part of the Lady Keishing. She works with Ningguang. I think just running on no sleep, she'd just be more stressed and have a lot of nerves, be nervous about all the different tasks she has to complete in a day. And considering she has no sleep, she's wondering, is it going to get all done? Am I going to get enough sleep again? Yeah, her anxiety is just going to go through the roof. I'm sorry, Kaching. You better get some sleep. Xiangling, probably tired and fatigued, right? She's just, still like a teenager, early adult. She's a chef, working with all the food. That will put her right to sleep. I mean, running on 2 hours of sleep, she would definitely be very tired and get fatigued very quickly after all that cooking. Chongyun. Now, Chongyun, this is a wild card here. I am going to say it will be sad and depressed. I don't know why. I'm having a hard time figuring out what category he'd go in, but we know a little bit about his past and his family, and considering he can never get the job done being an exorcist, running on 2 hours of sleep, he might just start questioning whether this is all worth it, whether he should still be doing this. It's a good point, good thought. So, yeah, poor Chongyun. Xingqiu, very similar to Xiangling. He'll just get tired and fatigued. He'll be reading a book and probably start to nod off and get disinterested. I don't know if he'll last a couple hours throughout the day. He's just going to be dead tired. Chi-Chi, she's a zombie. She doesn't need sleep, so no change, normal self for her. Self-explanatory. Venti? Venti's an interesting one. Would that be? Let's see. Venti on 2 hours of sleep. He might play into it more. Like, if people know he's on 2 hours of sleep, he might just play into the confused, loopy, drunk, high type of vibe and just act crazy. I mean, he may as well just be crazy with no sleep. So, Venti's an oddball. You just never know with him. Klee, I don't even want to begin to guess what Klee would be like with only 2 hours of sleep. She's chaos. Probably mood swings. All emotions. I could see her being tired at one point, sad that no one would play with her. I could see her being very focused and energetic at some parts of the day, and then get angry that, she will get in trouble for fish blasting. So, yeah, typical day for Klee. Now, next up is Child Tartaglia. Okay, he's gone probably days without sleeping, just fighting, right? So, without sleep, he's just energetic, ready to fight. Didn't he fight Skirk's whale for days? So, yeah, very focused, energetic, straight to the point. He wants to get that one thing done. No one's going to stop him. Diona, probably... what's Diona? Okay, but she's a cat. No, if she doesn't get sleep, she's going to be pissed. She's going to try to mess up every drink at the cat's tail. Yeah, no, she already does get, easily annoyed, and this would just exasperate that. Oh my lord, Diona would be pissed at every little thing. Zhongli. What the hell would Zhongli be like with 2 hours of sleep? I can't see any of these. He'd just be normal, right? I feel like he'd just be his normal self with no sleep. I know that doesn't make sense, but think about it. It's Zhongli. He's got to be his just normal self with no sleep as well. I don't know. I just don't see a change with him. Anywho, Xinyan? This is an interesting one. Probably confused and loopy. I could see her being tired and fatigued, but like, I feel like she can power through the tiredness and then she'll just get to a point where she's very confused. Her brain's sending mixed signals. She gets a little loopy, not really sure where she is. She's that tired. So I'm going to put her here. I think that's a good spot for her. Albedo. Albedo has probably spent days, kind of like Child, probably spent days awake working on his projects and testing a lot of shit out. I can just see Albedo with no sleep or running on very slow sleep, just being very focused on his duty, what he has to get done, and kind of energetic to finish it, you know? So yeah, Ganyu, I mean, tired and fatigued, come on. She gets barely any sleep anyway. Yeah, she's going to be tired, fatigued, falling asleep all the time, like in her idol, so it's canon. Zhao, he already gets angry and easily annoyed at everything that isn't the Traveler, so yeah, with 2 hours of sleep, Zhao is going to be pissed and not happy. So stay away from him, or he will kind of stay away from you and just teleport to a far location by himself. Hu Tao. Oh boy, what would she be like with no sleep? She's crazy enough as it is. Honestly, all emotions. I can see her in all of these different categories. So I think the best category to put her in is mood swings, all emotions. Spending a day with Hu Tao on 2 hours of sleep would be an adventure, to say the least. Rosaria, yeah, no, she'd get annoyed at every little thing. She'd be outside by herself, contemplating life. No, she would not have a good day. On 2 hours of sleep, no, she would not have a good day whatsoever. Her mood would be terrible. Yanfei, probably just tired and fatigued. She's a lawyer. She could spend all day in the courtroom and get very fatigued, probably halfway through on no sleep. She's reading a lot of papers. Yeah, no, she'd be so tired. She needs sleep. She has to make a lot of important decisions. Eula! Oh boy. Probably, are we going drunk Eula? Or, like, angry vengeance Eula? Wait, that just puts her in here. So yeah, mood swings. On 2 hours of sleep, yeah, she'd be high and, like, drunk. But then she'd get very angry and easily annoyed. Then she'd start to be very focused on a task she's doing. And will get tired and fatigued. Yeah, so, typical Eula. Mood swings. That checks out. Kazuha? My mind just went dark. On 2 hours of sleep, he might just start thinking of his dead best friend. Sad and depressed. I don't really see him getting tired and fatigued. I don't see him being his normal self, but I don't see him in any of these categories. I just think sad and depressed. He kind of has that demeanor to him. If he doesn't get a lot of sleep, he can start thinking about bad things, and yeah, you don't want that, so we'll put him there. All right, Kamisato Ayaka on 2 hours of sleep, probably. Ooh, this is a good one. Confused and loopy. She usually gets her 7 to 8 hours of sleep. On 2 hours, yeah, she wouldn't be more than just tired. She'd be confused, walking into walls. She would not know where she is. She's not that type of person to stay up late and don't get a lot of sleep. So yeah. Yoimiya, on the other hand, kind of the opposite, I feel like. I can see her staying up late a lot and very focused, working on projects, maybe fireworks. I see her being very into creating and making things with her hands, little, small side projects. So yeah, I think with 2 hours of sleep, she'd be still chipper as always, very happy. And yeah, that's her. Sayu, no change. I mean, she's used to no sleep anyway. Nothing will change with her. Raiden? Oh, Raiden would not be happy. Yeah, she'd probably strike down another island if someone tried to talk to her. She likes to spend time by herself anyway. She would not be happy and not understand why can't she go back to sleep. Kujo Sara, honestly, same thing. She has to run a damn military. Run it. If she only got 2 hours of sleep, she would make everyone do like 200 push-ups a day. Yeah, I don't want to be near her with no sleep. Kokomi, on the other hand, we have seen her get very tired, and she has a notebook with her mood. She definitely gets sad or depressed. Where's the traveler? Where's the love of my life? Where are my friends? She would just have a lot of thoughts going through her mind. Toma. Now, Toma is just a regular dude. Loves to be at home, cook. So, tired, fatigued. He'll get tired halfway through the day. Just not him. He's not as, the happy person he usually is. Now, Arataki Ito. On 2 hours of sleep, I'd love to see this. Out of any of these emotions, I would say he would be confused and loopy. I think he'd be energetic, but he'd also be so tired he kind of like falls down, and people think he's joking, but he's really not. He'd be confused what's going on. His brain would just be all scrambled. So, yeah. Goro, he probably has stayed up all night protecting Watatsumi Island and Kokomi, so I'm going to put him very focused, energetic. Even on no sleep, he's going to be extremely focused, locked in. He will be locked in to do his job. So yeah, that's where I'll put him. Shenhe. What do I even do with Shenhe? Where do I put her? How much sleep does Shenhe get? Does she, would she just be normal? No change with no sleep? I could see it. Does she even need sleep? I am so curious about this. Now that I think about it, does she sleep? Yeah, no, she definitely sleeps. But I feel like she'd just be the same even without sleep. Or would she get very angry? No, she doesn't get angry. She just gets strong. I don't know. I'm going to put her here. That's a very good question. What would Shenhe be like with no sleep? Any change at all or no? Yunjin, the opera singer, tired and fatigued, bro. She's probably already so tired. And with no sleep, yeah, she's going to be very tired and fatigued. Halfway through the performance, she's going to start struggling, but she'll power through. Yai Miko, on 2 hours of sleep, there's no question what she's going to bring to the table. All emotions. 1 minute, she will be angry. Next moment, she'll be tired and want to fall asleep. It's going to be chaos the entire day with Yai Miko. I'd love to see that. Please make this a reality. Kamisato Ayato? I have no idea, bro. Honestly, Ayato is a man of high culture, high standard. I can see him getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night. He's that kind of leader. With no sleep, I can see him becoming anxious and kind of a little bit stressed, worrying about some meetings he has with other nations. So that's all I got for him. Yelan? Oh, Yelan's going to be locked in, focused. She doesn't care about sleep. She's too busy trying to detect this one villain and bring him down, bring justice to the world of Teyvat. Yeah, that's Yelan. Kuki Shinobu? She has to deal with the Arataki gang. If she got no sleep, she's going to send them all to jail. Angry, easily annoyed. Literally, she is already annoyed by them, but with no sleep, she will snap at them. For sure. Heizo, same thing as Yelan. Detective. He's probably spent days up at night working, so focused, energetic the next day. Still moving on with the case. Tainari? What would Tainari be? Let's put Tainari in the high anxiety and stressed. I'm actually... No. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm going to put him here. He's probably dealing with patients where he has to treat. He has to go out and gather materials. He cannot be tired. He cannot be confused and loopy. He has to be, focused, but I think he's going to be with 2 hours of sleep. He's going to be more stressed and have high anxiety due to his lack of sleep. His judgment might be off a little bit. I don't know. That's what I see. Kale, oh, poor Kale. With no sleep, probably, I would say tired and fatigued, but I mean, sad and depressed too. She might start to question herself, doubt herself, think of past events. God, bad things happen when you don't get a lot of sleep, let me tell you. So now Dory is wild. Dory with no sleep, probably confused and loopy. Could you imagine? Dory gets no sleep, and then the entire next day, she probably is so tired. She's not going to know what she's doing and give out some of her items for free. And then she'll freak out the next day. Sino would be easily annoyed. Would Sino be angry and easily? Well, yeah. If he's in his work mode, yeah, he'd be pissed. Especially like, his General Mahamatra duties. If he's on call, yeah, he'd get easily annoyed and pissed off. Candace, on the other hand, just tired. She's just stays in the village, deals with people with 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, she'll be very tired that next day. She'll probably complain to some people that she's tired. Oh, poor girl. Nilu, confused and loopy. That's just the type of person I see her. Kind of similar to Ayaka. She's always the one to get 7-8 hours of sleep. With 2 hours, yeah, she would not know where she is. Nahida. Nahida probably, sad and depressed with no sleep. She just might be sad. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm going to say sad and depressed just because I feel like her mental state isn't going to be there and she'll be kind of depressed about it. Layla, no change, normal self. No questions. Kind of like Sayu. Her sleeping self can kick in. So no change with that. Wander, that's without question. Don't even need to expand on that. Easily annoyed, angry. Yeah, 2 hours of sleep. He'd be the rage monster. Faruzan probably would just... Wait a minute, she's Granny. Granny Faruzan. Dude, she would have mood swings. She would be easily annoyed at people, calling them out, then tired and fatigued, maybe sad, focused at something. Yeah, she'd be everything. She would be everything. Al-Haytham, very simple. Get away from him. Stay away from him. Yeah, do not talk to him on 2 hours of sleep. Yao Yao, tired and fatigued. She's just a child. She'd be so tired. Dia's a good one. What the hell would Dia be like? Yeah, Dia, we've seen a lot of different sides of her, so let's put her in mood swings. We've seen her be very anxious and stressed about stuff, easily annoyed at people, tired. Yeah, nope, this fits her. On 2 hours of sleep, she'd have mood swings. Mika, that's without question. Anxious and stressed to the max level. Poor Mika. Baiju, yeah, he's spent days at the doctor's office looking after patients. He's got to be very focused and energetic to do his job. He's got to stay locked in. That's the job. That's Baiju for you. Kaveh? Kaveh is a guy that would get easily stressed and have high anxiety with no sleep. He's going to be worried about his blueprints and the measurements he does at work. Yeah, that makes sense. Kirara? I don't know. Kirara's interesting. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Mood swings. All of them. Hello. She's going to be very stressed and have a lot of anxiety over delivering packages on time while she's tired. She might be confused. She's got to be focused. Yeah, no, every emotion for Kirara, especially on 2 hours of sleep. Yikes. Linny is probably just stressed and has high anxiety. He's probably got a magic show to do. And he's up, 2 hours of sleep. Next day, he's, stressed. He's very scared. He didn't get a lot of sleep. Is he going to remember everything? While on the other hand, Lynette doesn't phase her whatsoever. She has different modes. I don't think 8 hours of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, nothing affects her. She's fine. And then their other sibling, Fremine, sad and depressed. That's just Fremine's, attitude and personality. Yeah, he'd be sad. Now, Nouvelette, on the other hand, what the hell would he be like on 2 hours of sleep? Honestly, if I think about it, probably very focused. He probably has stayed up a long time just doing paperwork for Fontaine. So I think on 2 hours of sleep, the next day, he'd still be the same old him, but, maybe more focused. He may be a little tired, but he's going to be, energetic to do his job and see the Melazines. but maybe he'll have more anxiety. You know, mood swings might be the one to put him in. Yeah, I could see him being tired. Yeah, no, actually, mood swings fits Nuvolet well on 2 hours of sleep. Risley, he'd get easily annoyed and get angry. Yeah, with no sleep, I could see him being quite a not a nice person to be around. But I could be wrong. I don't know. That's what I'm going with. Farina. Oh, yeah, Farina. Join Nuvolet in the mood swings category. Yeah, she'd be everything. Farina would be hilarious to be around with 2 hours of sleep. Oh, she'd be a hoot. Charlotte? Charlotte would probably be confused and loopy. She's definitely someone to get her 7 to 8 hours of sleep. The next day, she'd be walking around, walking like she's drunk, kind of high, confused. She'll be asking weird questions and being apologizing for not getting a lot of sleep. Yep, that's her. Navia. Navia? Same as Charlotte? Confused and loopy? She definitely gets her sleep. And without sleep, I can see her trying to, get through the day and power through instead of being tired, but she's just going to start to become loopy. She was going to want to get a lot of tea, confused at what's going on. Yeah, sounds like Navia. Chevra's probably locked in. Very focused, I would say. Yeah, very focused. Doing her job, staying up all night, patrolling the area. 8 hours, 2 hours of sleep, it does not bother her. She just has to do her job. Janyun? Janyun would be hilarious. Probably everything. Yeah, no, all emotions. Mood swings galore with Janyun. She'd be very funny to be around as well. Just don't get on her bad side. Gaming, probably just tired. Tired and fatigued. All of the dancing that he does, yeah, he'd be dead tired. Chiori, easy annoyed. We know her attitude. She's got a mean streak in her. Arlecchino, same thing. You don't want to be around her with 2 hours of sleep. She will snap at you and then cut you in half. Chlorand? Ooh, Chlorand's a tough one. Probably. This is tough. Maybe focused? Her job, the champion duelist, helping out around Fontaine. Yeah, I can see her just not being that phased with 2 hours of sleep. Yeah, it does change her mental state a little bit, but she'll still be very active and energetic. Yeah, that makes sense. Siegewein? On 2 hours of sleep, she's a doctor. She's a Melazine. They still need sleep, so it's not going to change her. Same thing, maybe very focused? High anxiety? Actually, I actually don't know. Does lack of sleep affect Melazines? Because I could see her being more stressed and have more anxiety with less sleep, especially being like a nurse and doctor. I could see that. Just, worrying she's going to do something wrong or did something wrong. But she has powers still, though. This is a very good question. I don't know. I'm going to put her here. That's probably wrong, but who knows? Sethos? Confused and loopy? Are we going like drunk Sethos? Kind of like Venti? Because he drinks a lot. So maybe with 2 hours of sleep, he might just be out of it and walking the walls in the temple. I don't know. I just don't see him being himself. But I don't see him being that tired. So I'm going to put him here. Confused and loopy. Emily. Oh, Emily definitely staying up. 2 hours of sleep. She's working on a case, do detective work, and maybe focusing on new perfumes. Yeah, no. 2 hours of sleep may affect her a little bit, but she's still going to be very focused. Mualani. The happiest, most energetic person you'll know. She needs sleep. We've seen this before. Without sleep, she's so tired and fatigued. And Kachina, probably no. Kachina will be more confused and loopy than tired, I think. She just gives me that vibe. She'll be tired, but she's going to be more confused and loopy that entire day after only getting 2 hours. Yeah. Kanich. Okay, Kanich being around a How, he's going to get easily annoyed and very angry, actually. We don't see that side of him, but he usually gets sleep. So without sleep, only 2 hours, he's not going to be in a good mood. And Mualani is going to try to do everything to make him feel better. Shilonen. Oh, Shilonen. You're going to have a lot of mood swings, girl. You're going to have mood swings. She's going to be tired, obviously, confused and loopy, focused on her job, highly stressed and anxiety due to the workload, and easily annoyed at Malwika. So yeah, everything. Shilonen would be wild to be around with 2 hours of sleep. Chaska, yeah, you don't want to go near her. She'll be easily annoyed and angry on no sleep. Yeah, she's already kind of a loner, so yeah. Auroron? What the hell? Oh, confused and loopy. Oh, 100% confused and loopy. Auroron would be a wreck on 2 hours of sleep. He'd probably start calling every living thing under the sun a vegetable. But he probably already does that. Yeah. Mawika, tired and fatigued. She usually gets sleep. I mean, she's perfect in every way, but I still think she'd become tired and fatigued at some point if she didn't get sleep. So, yeah, she'd be tired. Tired Mawika would be a very fun character, honestly. We need to see that one day. See, Lolly, confused and loopy, let's be real. She's always confused and loopy, being drunk, so with 2 hours of sleep, she won't be all there in the head. That's for sure. Lanyan. Where would I even put Lanyan? I guess tired and fatigued. She's just still like a, young adult. I don't know. She's not going to... I don't see her in any other category. So, tired and fatigued. Lanyan would be with 2 hours of sleep. Mizuki? Oh, man. Dude, this is actually this is tough. I want to put her here because she'd be very focused and energetic to do her job. Yeah, she's a psychiatrist. She helps people. She works at the bathhouse. On 2 hours of sleep, I still see her being very focused at her job. Yeah, we've seen her, I think, work through the night once, haven't we? I don't see her being easily annoyed. Stressed, maybe, but she doesn't scream the type to be stressed. That's a tough one. No, I gotta say focused. She's gotta be in the focus category. I don't know. This is also a really tough one to really decide on. I'm gonna put her here. She's a yokai, who knows? Varessa, confused and loopy. I could see her just stumbling out of her home in the collective of plenty. So, yeah, I think on 2 hours of sleep, she'd be running into walls and stuff. She'd be so tired and apologize for the lack of sleep. Ian-san? Oh, focused. I mean, Ian-san is just strictly all workout all day, all night. Even on 2 hours of sleep, focused, energetic, get to work, do 300 sit-ups, I don't know. Escoffier? Oh, we've seen her mean streak. She can get angry. But on 2 hours of sleep, she's going to get pissed off on any little thing that's wrong in a dish. Yeah, don't be near her. Do not make her angry. Aoife? I don't know. On 2 hours of sleep, what the hell would Aoife be like? I mean, he's a vet. He's kind of just a all-around perfect guy. So maybe like sad and depressed. On 2 hours of sleep, he's sad. He thinks about all of the old past events and Saurians. I don't really see him. I mean, yeah, he could be very focused at his job. I don't know. This is also a really tough one to decide on. You know what? I'm probably going to put him in very focused. Honestly, now thinking about it, he's a vet. He can probably do his job with 8 hours of sleep or 2 hours. He still needs to do his job. He has to take care of the Saurians. So yeah. Skirk? Oh yeah, I mean, come on. Easily annoyed, angry. That's Skirk for you. On 2 hours of sleep, she's going to be a demon. Dahlia? I don't know. It's freaking Dahlia. Probably like... You know what? Let's put him in mood swings. Why not? I think Dahlia would be stressed and have high anxiety over his job on 2 hours of sleep. He'd be very focused to do his job. He'd also be very tired and maybe confused and loopy, depending on how much the drink he's had, because it's Mondstadt. So yeah, I would say, honestly, all emotions. We've not really seen a lot of emotion out of this character, but on 2 hours of sleep, he might become a very emotional person. So yeah. Inefa, she's a robot. Don't think her normal self is going to change at all, no matter what sleep she gets. So yeah, Lauma, I can't really see her. No, actually, we have seen her become tired and fatigued. On 2 hours of sleep, she definitely become very tired throughout the day and fatigued on doing all of her tasks, especially if she has to heal people. Yeah, she needs sleep. I know, present. But I know, oh god, her bots, on 2 hours of sleep, she'd honestly get very annoyed, want crumb cakes all day, kind of talk back to Anefa, get angry when something doesn't work. Yeah, I see her being a bit of a brat with 2 hours of sleep. That makes sense. Flynn's sad and depressed. Let's be real. On 2 hours of sleep, he's around the dead all the time. He's a little bit tired. He's focused on doing his job, but he's kind of just gonna be sad. He's gonna be sad he didn't get a lot of sleep. He's gonna talk to some ghosts. It's not gonna be fun. Nefer. Oh, this is a good one. I can put okay. Mood swings. She's gonna be easily annoyed and angry. She's gonna be very focused at her job. She's gonna be tired. On 2 hours of sleep, she will be tired. And if the situation gets dire, she will be stressed and have pretty high anxiety. So kind of mood swings all day. On 2 hours of sleep, Nefer, mood swings, 100%. Durin, honestly, instead of putting him in like tired and fatigued, probably sad and depressed. On 2 hours of sleep, he's just going to be like thinking about wishing he was more like a human, how to connect with humans better. He's a dragon, stuff like that. And it would get sad. Yeah, poor guy. Yehoda. Well, that makes sense. High anxiety and stress. That's Yehoda for you. 2 hours of sleep, quadruple that. She's going to be a mess. Inner monologues all day. Columbina, probably just tired and fatigued. With no sleep, yeah, we've seen her tired and fatigued before. She needs sleep. She sleeps a lot. Without sleep, she's tired. Zebai? I don't know. Probably. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we do. Mood swings. Hello. The three selves. She's going to be switching between the three selves more often with less sleep. That is perfect. Yep, that's what I see. That is such a good thought I just had. The less sleep she gets, the more the three selves come out throughout the day. Eatlua. Oh, Eatlua's going to be freaking... I mean, okay. He's going to be stressed and have high anxiety. Yeah, he's going to be focused and do his job. But on 2 hours of sleep, I think with the amount of workload he has and the people he has to take care of, he's going to be stressed through the roof. Yeah, it's going to be a bad day for him. Varka on 2 hours of sleep, on like his runs, on his expeditions, he's going to be focused. On 8 hours or 2 hours of sleep, he's going to be the same old Varka. He'll be tired, but he'll power through. He has to be focused and do his job and protect the people of Mondstadt. Linnea, definitely tired and fatigued. I mean, yeah. Linnea is a very happy-go-lucky person. 2 hours of sleep, I think she'd be very tired. Her ears would like droop. She'd just be, tired and fatigued throughout the day. And Nicole, same. Nicole talks so much. When she gets like no sleep, she will talk less. And when she talks less, she'll be like, oh yeah, I'm just a little tired. I got no sleep. She may be a little bit tired, but you'd be able to tell because she's not talking as much. Now, Lowen? I mean, this could be anything. Lowen's a psycho. Probably very focused still. Probably, yeah. On 2 hours of sleep, he'll wake up the next day, ready to fight, practice his battle, practice fighting. Yeah, kind of like child. And then Prune, probably confused and loopy. Honestly, that seems like from the little bit we know about her, she seems like a character that would be confused and loopy if she got no sleep. Little bit of a screw loose in the head, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, that is it. Wow. All right. That was quick. So, these are all the Genshin Impact characters on 2 hours of sleep. So honestly, this was pretty even. The most was in the angry, easily annoyed category, but that makes sense. 2 hours of sleep, you're not going to be happy. Yeah, a couple characters in the high anxiety and stress, very focused. If they're going to do their job, even with no sleep. Mood swings, yeah, different emotions all day. Confused and loopy and tired and fatigued, definitely. With no sleep, that's going to happen to you. And then the least amount in no change and sad and depressed. So yeah, this was actually pretty damn even. I like this. There's a few, question marks around here, like Sijuin, Mizuki, stuff like that, but you let me know. I think this is good for now. And yeah. So, what do y'all think? What characters did I get right? Which ones did I get wrong? And let me know what categories you'd put those characters in that you disagree with. So, let me know. Write in the comments your opinions, and I'll talk to you then. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.